The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Hey there, QuickLit viewers. Welcome back to another exciting video on our channel. Today we're diving into the captivating world of The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. In Chapter 1 of The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg introduces the concept of the habit loop, which consists of three components: cue, routine, and reward. He explains that habits are formed through this loop, where a cue triggers a routine behavior that leads to a reward. Duhigg discusses the neurological basis of habits, highlighting how they become automatic over time. He also presents real-life examples to demonstrate how understanding and modifying the habit loop can lead to positive behavior change. The main idea of this chapter is to establish the framework of the habit loop and how it influences our actions and decisions. In Chapter 2 of The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg explores the role of the craving brain in shaping habits. He explains that habits are not only driven by cues and rewards, but also by the cravings that arise in response to those cues. Duhigg discusses the neurological processes that link cues, routines, and rewards with cravings, highlighting how cravings play a crucial role in reinforcing and perpetuating habits. Duhigg presents the story of a woman named Angela, who successfully quit smoking by understanding and addressing her cravings. By recognizing that the reward she craved was relaxation, Angela was able to replace smoking with a healthier routine that satisfied her craving. The main idea of this chapter is that cravings are a key component of the habit loop, and understanding how they work is essential for changing habits. By identifying the specific cravings associated with a habit, individuals can make intentional choices to replace negative routines with alternatives that satisfy those cravings in a healthier way. In Chapter 3, Charles Duhigg focuses on the golden rule of habit change. Duhigg introduces the concept that habits can be transformed by keeping the same cues and rewards while changing the routine that lies between them. He explains that identifying the cues and rewards that drive a habit is essential for successfully changing it. Duhigg provides several real-world examples, including the story of alcoholics in Alcoholics Anonymous. By recognizing the cues that triggered their drinking behavior and finding alternative routines that still provided a sense of reward, these individuals were able to overcome their alcohol dependency. The main idea of this chapter is that habits can be changed by understanding the structure of the habit loop and using the golden rule to substitute new positive routines while maintaining the same cues and rewards. This principle empowers individuals to take control of their habits and make lasting changes to their behavior. In Chapter 4, Charles Duhigg explores the concept of keystone habits and their profound impact on our lives and organizations. Duhigg introduces the idea that certain habits have the power to spark a chain reaction of positive changes across various areas of our lives. He illustrates this concept through the story of Paul O'Neill, who transformed the aluminum giant Alcoa by focusing on improving worker safety. O'Neill's emphasis on safety acted as a keystone habit, creating a culture of transparency, communication, and accountability that ultimately led to significant improvements in productivity and profitability. Duhigg discusses how identifying and cultivating keystone habits can bring about transformational shifts in organizations. These habits act as small wins, creating a sense of momentum that propels individuals and groups toward larger successes. The main idea of this chapter is that certain habits, known as keystone habits, have the power to initiate positive changes that extend beyond the habits themselves. Recognizing and leveraging these keystone habits can lead to cascading improvements in various aspects of our lives and work environments. In Chapter 5 of Charles Duhigg delves into the captivating world of how habits are utilized by successful companies, focusing on Starbucks as a prime example. Duhigg explains how businesses harness the power of habits to create an environment where customer behaviors become automatic and predictable. He recounts the story of how Starbucks carefully engineered its stores to encourage specific routines and provide customers with consistent rewards. This strategic approach helped Starbucks become not just a place to buy coffee, but a daily habit for millions of people. Duhigg explores the role of cues and rewards in shaping consumer behavior and reveals how companies like Procter & Gamble employ similar tactics to market their products effectively. The main idea of this chapter is that successful companies capitalize on the habit loop to create products and experiences that become ingrained habits in consumers' lives. By understanding and manipulating cues, routines, and rewards, businesses can influence customer behavior and achieve enduring success. In Chapter 6, Charles Duhigg examines the intriguing concept of how habits are influenced and changed during times of crisis. Duhigg explores the dynamic interplay between habits, routines, and leadership, using historical events like the Montgomery bus boycott and the turnaround of Rhode Island Hospital as examples. He discusses how crises create an environment in which existing habits can be disrupted and new habits can be formed. Leaders who understand the psychology of habit formation can capitalize on these moments of upheaval to introduce positive changes and reshape behaviors. Duhigg presents the story of Rick Warren and his leadership at Saddleback Church, highlighting how strategic routines and habits can drive organizational transformation. He also discusses the role of social movements in changing societal habits and norms. The main idea of this chapter is that crises provide opportunities for leaders to intentionally shape habits and create lasting change. By understanding how habits work and leveraging these critical moments, leaders can guide individuals and organizations towards positive transformations. In Chapter 7, Charles Duhigg delves into the intriguing world of how companies like Target utilize data and consumer habits to predict and influence purchasing behavior. Duhigg explains how sophisticated algorithms and customer tracking enable companies to identify patterns and cues that reveal consumers' habits and preferences. He presents the captivating story of a teenage girl's shopping habits at Target and how the company's analytics team accurately predicted her pregnancy before her family even knew. Duhigg explores the ethical and privacy implications of this level of data analysis. Duhigg also discusses the formation of societal habits, using the example of the Montgomery bus boycott to illustrate how collective actions can challenge and change deeply ingrained social norms. The main idea of this chapter is that companies have the ability to gather and analyze vast amounts of data to understand and predict consumer habits. This understanding allows companies to tailor marketing strategies and products to align with consumers' routines and desires, ultimately influencing their purchasing decisions. Additionally, collective behaviors can challenge societal norms and lead to significant social change. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what you want to see in the future.